No one compares to you. No one compares to you. No one. No one compares to you. That sounds so simple, doesn't it? We can say that we're unique, there's only one me, but yet we still make silly comparisons. No one compares to you. Greetings and welcome back to Spine Shine Goddess. I am Sandra Roberts, the Sang Goddess, and here at Spine Shine Goddess, we are encouraging Black women to live, stand, and speak their organic truth without permission or apologies. Welcome. If this is your first time, welcome back. If you are already a spine shiner and you have hit that subscribe button, thank you, subscribers. Thank you. Something as simple as pushing that button, but it's evidently not that simple because everybody doesn't choose to do it. When something as free as touching the subscribe button, people won't do it. So you are special in the fact that you hit the button. And I feel really good about that. That is not something small because too many people won't do it. Even if they're nosy, even if they want alert, they still ain't gonna hit that subscribe button. Haters. I'm here to talk about you being who you are and that no one compares to you. I'm not going to ask your forgiveness or your permission to speak on the fact that you shouldn't compare your children, and I don't have any. I've talked about this before where I feel like not being a parent, a biological parent, that you can't say certain things because people, you don't have any kids until you get some kids. If you are a parent and you are comparing your children to each other or using that as manipulation to get something out of the other, please stop. Please stop. They grow up to be adults who do the same thing. They use manipulation by comparing people. Oh, this person did this. This person looks like this. This person was this to me. This person did this. Or these one-uppers. Everything's a one-upper. It's a competition. And you know, if you've been watching my channel, how I feel about competitions. I cannot stand them. There's only one you. There's only one me. So there's never any competition. There is no competition. So much stress and depression and unhappiness could be resolved if people didn't compare. Don't look at anybody else's life and then feel bad about yours because you see people doing this and doing that, or you feel like your life is not going any place, or you're not doing whatever you want to do. You're not living your best life. You're not YOLOing out here. There's only one you. If that's real for other people, if they're living a life, it's not even about them. It's about you. It's about your lane. It's about what are you contributing. It's about what your legacy is. It's about what makes you happy. What are the things that make you you? You have to find the thing that fulfills your purpose. And that sounds cliche, but it is what it is. It's like, why are you here? What are you here for? What are you doing? If you can't answer that, then it does seem like, why am I here? I might as well end it. I'm connecting this to this video. What is your happy?
And today is the deadline to submit those videos. Get them in by 12 a.m. today. Today is Saturday, January the 7th. Get them in. Get them in. Get them in. Come on now. It's a free $50 Amazon card. You're doing reels for free. Come on.
And connected to what your happy is this. What is it that makes you you? We're all searching. We don't always know what it is that we want to do. We don't always know what we're good at. But our gifts, you begin to see or feel about yourself that set you apart from other people. Or you picking all these different other things because you see it's working for someone else. So maybe if I emulate that person, if I do what they do, and then just tweak it a little bit to try and put my spin on it, I'll reap the same benefits that they're reaping. But that's their gift. That's uniquely theirs if it's working for them. If it's working for you, then it's your stuff. Not always. There are no absolutes. I'm not speaking in absolutes. So don't give me an example of something where that didn't happen, it didn't work for them. We're generalizing here. Pretty much everything is subjective. So before you go into the science or the receipts or whatever the absolutes are in your life, someone else can say something else that challenges that. I am saying that yes, more than likely, if you are operating and you are in alignment with what it is that you are supposed to be doing, that is in alignment with what you were made to do, it works for you. The universe blesses you You don't even have to work that hard for it. I've been a vegan. I have done a raw food diet, being a vegetarian, being a pescatarian. And it wasn't until I tried Eat Right for Your blood type that I found that most of what I attempt to do when either fasting or eating a very strict diet to maintain wellness, the Eat Right for Your blood type, there are certain foods that are recommended that you eat for your blood type, ones to avoid and ones that are neutral. I don't know if that's still the case. The book that I had, it's been some years ago, and I'm not sure if it's been updated and changes have been made. But for the most part, that's what it is. So you have certain foods, regardless of what those foods are. They can even be fruit or nuts and vegetables, but certain fruit and vegetables may not necessarily be good for your blood type. It may be meat. You may feel that you're supposed to not eat meat, but according to your blood type, you should be eating meat to have the most harmonious wellness. Whether you agree with that or not, I'm only sharing that as an example to say that is when I found that I was most balanced in my eating habits, when I followed Eat Right for Your blood type. And it just made sense to me. This is my blood type. For instance, tomatoes. Tomatoes are not supposed to be good for my particular blood type, and they do irritate me. But eating right for your blood type explains why. People who are vegetarians, that should definitely have meat in their diet, according to Eat Right for Your blood type, unless you are not eating meat, of course, for the animal's sake and for the fact that you have a different belief system. As far as the body being balanced and in harmony, Eat Right for Your blood type is one that I advocate. It's one of the strategies for maintaining wellness that I like. And it's because, again, it's your blood type. It is customized for you. Your gifts, no matter how small or big you think they are your gifts. Do what it is that you need to do to make a difference, to let the world know you were here. What I am finding, this is just my observation. There's no science to this. Again, no absolutes. So now I'm moving back to you parents. If you do this, I'm talking to you. If you have more than one child, and they obviously are different because we're different. We've already stated the obvious, right? We're all different. So if they're all different, the children you have, however many, they're different. Your job, I would think, humbly speaking, being that I am not a parent, humbly speaking, you find what's unique to them. I'll compare it in even teaching to meet children where they are. If a child has an IEP, regardless if they were in special ed, I thought every child had an IEP, but they might not have been considered having special needs, but they still are unique learners. Everybody learns differently. That's one of the challenges of teaching in the classroom, is that you have 25 to 30 in many cases, and you have to match each of those individual students where they are. You have to take your lesson that you're trying to teach and help them to achieve the objectives of that lesson. You have to get across and use various techniques and various activities. You have to bring a lot to your lesson or to help each child in your classroom get what it is that you're trying to teach. So even though I'm not a biological parent, can you at least give me the leeway? I said I wasn't going to apologize and skirt around it, but I always have to, because there's always someone telling a non-parent, you're not a parent, so you're not understanding. It's not the same. I'm not saying teaching is the same. But in this example, would you appreciate if you had two children in my classroom, totally different? Every time you come to talk to me at the parent conference, I'm comparing them to the other one. I'm pointing out their differences and making these comparisons. But she does this and he does that, or he does that, but he does that. And why can't, or what did you do differently with this one? Why is this one behaving like this one, but this one does this? Is there any way that you can do exactly what you did for this one in order to get the same results? Because we having such a problem with this one. Aren't y'all in the same household? I mean, what's the problem? Do they have the same father? I mean, what did you do during your pregnancy? Was there something that you did differently with this child that's different with this one? Come on now. You would be totally offended. Regardless of what it is that we do, two human beings are not identical. Twins are not identical. They're not the same. They don't come out at the same. You get my point. We need you all to stop with the comparisons and using that in your parenting as a way of getting the things that you want out of your child, because when they grow up, they become those same people in the workplace. They become those same people as friends. They become these one-uppers, these competitors who have to do certain things to get attention. And you see them trying everything to get attention except doing the thing that they are most good at. Not taking the time to even find out what they're good at, or accepting that whatever it is that they're good at, that's what it is. Even if it's not as big and glamorous as what somebody else is doing, you can still make whatever you think is small in comparison. With you aligning yourself with your gifts, you can do whatever that makes it just as big for you. You shine it up. You make it something important. Stop picking the things that you think are already big and do that for attention, rather than find the things that are uniquely you and do that. Let that speak for you. You got a lot of people that'll do a lot of different things because they watch other people finding success in it. Like a lot of these mentors. Oh, God. People are making whole businesses off of something they found success in. Now they package it, they sell it, and sell you a pipe dream about it working for you because it worked for them. They have no clue about who you are uniquely. They have no clue about who you are as a student. They don't know you as a student. You on a screen. That's one of the disadvantages of the whole virtual thing. I love the convenience of it, but I'm still old school. So that's probably why I'm using this as an example. I come out of the whole era of face-to-face education. And I know there's so many X factors when you're meeting a person. That goes back to this mentorship and teaching. They've been trying to standardize education for the longest. It's not going to work. It's never going to work because people are different. Even though they're the same age, even though they're in the same grade, all of them may not get it at that particular level or at that grade or at that age. It may be next year that they get it. Some people might have gotten it 2 years ago, and now you're teaching it this year, and now they're bored, and they're sitting there waiting for the class to get caught up, and now the next class, the next year, they already behind. There's a gap because they waited a year or so waiting for this other class to catch up on a skill that they learned or that they had 2 years ago. Now they're behind for the next class or for the next grade or the next age group. No one is the same. No one learns the exact same way. It is the biggest challenge. That's why teachers are so special and unique. And that's why, yes, they should get paid, especially if they're good. I am saying this because, like I said in the other video, there's so much talk about depression. And one of the biggest it has to be. No, I'm no doctor. It's beyond my scope of practice. That's my disclaimer. But common sense will tell you, if you are sitting at home comparing your life to someone else's, and they seem to have it going on, and they got all these good things going for them, and they're just living the life, and you sitting at home doing whatever it is that you're doing that you don't feel good about because you're comparing it to someone else, that's depressing. That's an unhappy life. Going back to parents that have used that as a means of motivating you to do something by comparing you to someone else, that doesn't necessarily work. No one compares to you. No one compares to anybody. We are unique. That's a simple universal truth. But yet, we play games with each other by comparing people. So starting with you parents, if you have children, please find what's uniquely different about them. Treat them differently and still honor those differences without comparing them, pitting them against each other in order to get something that you want from both of them. Find a way to make that lesson plan as unique as possible, okay? Make it as unique. Take the time to create the lesson plan that meets that child where he or she is. Not some impatient, I'm just going to say this no matter how hurtful because maybe they'll get you to see your brother did this or your brother wouldn't do this or your sister. Now you see what she did? Now she did this, but that's lazy. It's lazy. It's hurtful. And it creates grown-ups who look at these boxes and compare their lives to complete strangers, or adults who get mentors from these boxes mentors or they take classes because they think that their lives, no matter who they are, regardless of what their individual life story has been, all it takes is them modeling themselves after this one person that they don't even know, paying money to be mentored by somebody who has used something that worked for them because that's them. They don't even know you. They don't know you. As an only child, yes, no comparisons. So only children are kind of lucky that way. Everything was about us. Some people call it spoiled. We're not always spoiled as only children. We're probably too grown sometimes as only children because we're always around other adults and so forth. But we're fortunate that we're not compared. We don't have siblings that parents have used something manipulative to control, make us do certain things for them out of comparing us. We spend a lot of time observing adults, watching, you're always looking and paying attention, you're hustling, you don't have anybody to play with. The simplest thing I told you in the video about what is your happy. If you are happy for other people, you will be happy. And you can only do that when you know your own happy. If you know your own happy, you know your lane. But if you don't know your lane, you all over the place. So the movie Respect. Oh, Jennifer Hudson did her thing. And then those of you who've seen it, there's a scene in there where Dinah Washington told her not to sing her song. She said, don't you ever sing the Queen's song in her face after she went off and called her a bitch. And then said, what is it you're trying to do, Aretha? Because you all over the place. You're singing this, you're singing that, you're singing that. What is it what's your song? What's your music? We would have never had an Aretha Franklin had Aretha Franklin not decided to do what she felt in her spirit to do. She'd been trying to follow the church, trying to do what daddy wanted to do, trying to do everything. And the most beautiful voice. Can you imagine that Aretha didn't have any hits when she first came out because she wasn't doing Aretha? How many stories do we have of that? That is a common thread where they tell you, I was trying to do this, I was trying to do that, I was all over the place, I had this going on, I had that going on. I'm not saying you got to do one thing and just do that one thing. I'm a Pisces, I would never tell you to do such. Oh, come on. It's not how many things you're doing. It is what are you doing and for what reason? Is it because it connects to you and you feel it's something that you want to do? Is it because, they're making money at this? Oh, she gets a lot of attention for doing it. The whole culture now speaks to this cookie cut thing. This has to look like this, standardizing. I guess they're finally getting what they want, not in education, because you won't be able to do it in education, but they can do it in the social virtual world. We can make a standard, some robot. It is meant to make us robotic. Are you a robot? Are you a robot? If you're not a robot, stop comparing yourself. Be uniquely you. If you have a mentor, let it be someone who definitely knows you. Bring your gifts, your truth, who you are organically to whatever it is that you're learning. You may not make the same amount of money. You may not have the same number of following. It's going to be different for you. You can take a template, but you still have to bring who you are to that template and make it uniquely you. Are you a robot? Are you? You're not a robot. You are uniquely made. Act like it. This has been Spine Shine Goddess. Don't forget, today is a deadline. That's if you want $50 Amazon. It's totally up to you. You can make all these videos for free and reels for free, and they give you pennies or nothing at all. Or maybe you just like the likes. If you just like the likes, that's fine, not knocking it. But you would have the, chance of winning a $50 Amazon gift card. It's totally up to you. So look at the video right there and see how you can, by 12 a.m., do a video about what your happy is, because 2023 is happy. Do what you want. Like, dislike, share, whatever the case. But thank you for joining. And remember, be peace. But if you have to be war, you be that too. Peace out.